Okay, so this video will get into a little bit more detail about how supply and demand graphs work when there is a shift in the market. A shift occurs in the market whenever a detriment occurs. A detriment refers to a change in either supply or demand, and there's a bunch of different reasons for that listed on the lesson that it goes through. So you should recognize this graph because this is the graph that you should have just done on paper. Your graph will probably look a little bit better than mine with a little bit better curving, but I'm doing it on the iPad, so it's a little bit shaky. Regardless, right now market equilibrium is set at $1.50, and this is where we presume the regular market is at. So we're going to imagine that there's a shift in demand. We're going to say that McDonald's is a normal good. A normal good means that as people earn more money, they will go out and buy more of it. Typically, normal goods are things that you buy every single day, like clothing or gasoline as in traveling more. Or possibly food for many people. They'll buy more food if they make more money. Not all the time, but we're going to presume in this case it's a normal good. And the situation that's going to happen is that taxes are going to go down. Since taxes are going down, people are making more money, and since this is a normal good, they'll buy more things. If people have more money, it's a normal good, they'll buy more things because taxes went down. So the way that we represent that in a graph is we shift to the right in the demand because demand is going up. So as demand goes up, the graph will move to the right. Now we don't know, since we don't have market data, how far it will go. If we don't know how far the market shift will be, we guesstimate. So I'm just going to say it's going to go right here. It's going to be a parallel line like this. And although we don't know where it's going to end up, and we really can't tell where market equilibrium is going to be yet, I'm just going to make the assumption to show where price will end up. So price will end up somewhere around there. That's about $2.50. So you can see price went up as demand went up, which makes logical sense based off of what you've learned. And again, we don't know exactly where that line is going to end up. We're just guesstimating based off the shift to the right as demand went up. Now, another situation. Let's imagine that a Tim Hortons moves in next to this McDonald's. And this new Tim Hortons, we're going to say, is better than McDonald's. McDonald's is an inferior good to Tim Hortons. So as people make more money, or as a new market enters the area, people are more likely to spend their money on Tim Hortons than they would to be on McDonald's because their taste prefers it. This means that demand for McDonald's will go down because a new Tim Hortons moved in. As you can probably guess, this means that demand is going to shift to the left because demand is going down. So we're going to say that demand shifts somewhere around here. And if that makes our market equilibrium right there, which is around 75 cents, price went down because demand went down. Again, it's just exploring the basic concepts. Two more situations. So moving on to supply now, we're going to talk about inputs. So inputs are the things that go into creating your product. In this case, we're talking about McDonald's coffee. So things that go into McDonald's coffee are going to be the cup itself, either the styrofoam or the plastic, whatever it's made out of, possibly the bag that it's shipped in, as well as the coffee bean and workers itself. So in this instance, we're going to say that there is a shortage of coffee beans. Something happened where the coffee plants are dying. So supply in that instance would go down because there's less coffee available. If supply goes down, that means that your supply curve will shift to the left because supply went down. And again, we're going to shift our line over to the left. And because supply went to the left, the price of the good went up, as you would imagine. The price of the good goes up if there's less of it available. And again, we're showing that this occurs. Situation. So let's say that McDonald's comes up with a better way to manufacture their coffee supply. They come up with some crazy new thing that allows them to produce coffee at twice the rate they used to. If technology increases, that means that supply increases. So we'll draw our line further to the right because it's growing. So something like that. That's really bad looking. And that will make, let's say, our line right there. That means that now we can sell our good at 50 cents, assuming that demand remains the same. So you can notice that this can get a little bit more complicated when we start shifting lines at different intervals. So supply and demand can move at the exact same rate. We can say that possibly now that supply has increased and technology has gotten better, maybe McDonald's runs a ad campaign expressing their new technology, and this is affecting consumer taste. As consumer taste increases, their demand goes up, and possibly we'll have a new line here, which we would label D2, not to get confused. We should be labeling these other things S2, etc. We can draw even a new market equilibrium, so maybe our price will go up then, while supply has increased as well. So when you're calculating out supply and demand, hopefully you recognize that your lines are going to shift all over the place. Without adequate research, you can't tell where these lines are going to end up. So an economist would not guess where these things are going. However, on a model situation like we're doing right now, you can see how price would fluctuate based off of shifts in demand and supply.